If you truly want to master your iPhone, you've got to be using the Control Center. Apple recently overhauled the Control Center, and it's now more useful than ever and far more customizable. As a result, it can also be a bit overwhelming. So let's talk about how to get the most out of it. The Control Center is the name for the menu that appears when you pull down on the top right of your screen. It's meant to provide quick access to common functions and avoid the need to dig around in settings or search for the right app. This latest update gives it a new look, including resizable buttons, support for third-party app buttons, multiple pages to break up key items and provide organization, and a new way to edit and customize everything. Using the Control Center is as simple as always. You still just swipe down from the top right of your phone to open it. You can access it even when your phone is locked to provide quick access to the various tools within. Now that there's multiple pages, you can continue your swipe down a little bit further and release it on the desired page. A quick swipe, on the other hand, will still take you just to your main page like always. You can still press and hold on items to open up broader menus. This is particularly useful for things like AirPods, where you can press and hold on the volume to access noise cancellation and other settings. In addition to all of this, there is now a power button on the top right corner. This provides the ability to turn off your phone via software in case you run into an issue with your buttons. Editing the Control Center is easier than ever. Rather than managing it in settings like before, you can now just tap the plus in the top left corner to make it your own. Once you do that, you can drag icons around to place them wherever you want and add new ones with the Add a Control button at the bottom. Just like on your home screen, if you add a new control alongside all the rest, it will flow up and down with the others as you make changes. But if you place it outside of the pack, it'll stay static. This can create some weird behavior at times, both here and on the home screen. They're definitely still working out the kinks with this recent change. But it's so much better than lacking the option to place an item wherever you want. In addition to placing those items anywhere, you can also resize them. So if you have some that are particularly important to you, you can make them a rectangle that includes their name or a big square so that you can't miss it. You can edit any of the pages, so you can even get rid of the extras that are provided by default, or you can add in additional ones if you want to get really crazy with all sorts of different menus. If you ever completely ruin your Control Center, no worries. Just go into Settings, Control Center, and select the Reset Control Center option to bring it back to its factory settings. Setting up the Control Center is incredibly personal. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on the best way to do it. But if you need help getting started, here are some thoughts. First, there's some items that you can add to the Control Center that you simply can't access anywhere else on the phone. This includes Screen Record, which lets you take a video of what's on your screen. It's how I do all of this. Screen Mirroring, which lets you cast your phone to a nearby compatible television. And Orientation Lock, which prevents the phone screen from turning when you have the phone sideways. Then there are items that will show up in Spotlight Search, but that are otherwise fairly hidden. This includes Shazam Music Recognition, which is a direct integration of the Shazam app that Apple bought years ago, and Code Scanner, which is a dedicated QR code scanner. The next category to call out are apps that you may not want on your home screen or that you just want to access more quickly. These might include the calculator, the clock, voice memos, Translate, or even Notes. Connectivity is a big one. It's maintained in a single item, which probably works for most people, but you can also break out key ones that you use a lot, like airplane mode, mobile hotspot, or the toggle for cellular data. Another consideration are items that are in settings, which you usually keep set as is because it's a hassle to change them, but which may actually be useful if you can toggle them more accessibly. This includes announced notifications, which you could turn off when you need to focus. This is where your phone will read notifications in supported headphones like AirPods. Low power mode, which you obviously get prompted to turn on when your battery reaches 20%, but with a toggle, you can preemptively enable it if you need to conserve your charge. You could even add a slider for text size. This is definitely one that you usually set and forget, but it could be useful to adjust on the fly if you only need it in certain occasions, like when you forget your glasses. If you've got any specific accessibility needs, there are a ton of different options to enable and disable accessibility features, which are otherwise buried in the settings. Finally, if you're a power user who takes advantage of the Shortcuts app, you can link your custom shortcuts on the Control Center as well. All right, hopefully you found some of those tips helpful, but if you've still got no idea, here's what my setup looks like. It's certainly not perfect, and I'm still iterating myself, but it's where I've landed for now. I like having the camera and flashlight down at the bottom, like they are on the lock screen. I also use calculator, low power mode, and screen recording a ton, so having them accessible is great. I like having brightness and volume sliders separated so that I don't accidentally hit the wrong one. Finally, I have focus modes that change based on time, but I like having quick access to change them if needed. That's just a few things that got me here. Feel free to copy me if you wish, or let me know what you think I should change on my personal setup. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like this one on lock screen widgets. They're similar and offer another way to personalize your iPhone to fit your needs. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.